The pattern's always the same. Either whoever's making it is 3 layers deep in technical jargon and completely lost the plot on who's actually watching, or it's just a paid placement that nobody's bothering to disclose. I stopped taking either seriously a long time ago, but somewhere along the way I kept bumping into this one specific thing. The idea that gas fees, little cuts that come out of the wallet every time anything moves on chain, don't necessarily have to be a one-way door. So I've been getting into the weeds of DeFi protocols for a few years, and that kind of repetition builds up a pretty solid instinct for what's real. Today I'm going through a solution that's been on my radar for a while, and I'll also run through the stuff I actually look at before committing any real attention to something. Okay, so I always want to touch technology before talking about it, because you learn a lot more from watching how something actually behaves than from reading what the team wrote about it.
So first thing, I sync the wallet I use the most. That's where all the on-chain history is. This app got a few different ways to do that, which tells me someone actually thought about the setup experience. Going with what's most familiar for me, and okay, connected, 0 issues. Wallet address is right there on the panel. So now I need to pick which chains to scan. So just selecting the networks I've been the most active on. All right, those are marked, pressing scan, and the system starts going through analysis.
Okay, and scan just wrapped, and it shows me the full thing right now. Total gas that's drained out of the wallet over time, and the exact slice of that, which is currently claimable. Clicking view results, and there's the breakdown. So now I select the chain to claim from, or there's an option to just take all networks at once, which is what I'm going with. Then I set the network where I want the tokens to send, and click confirm. And from this point, protocol just needs a couple minutes to get the transaction processed. So while that's finishing up, let me explain how the whole thing works. So the protocol is connected to DeFi platforms that live entirely on the blockchain. No company running this from a server somewhere, just automated code that executes on its own. Every time transaction happens on one of those platforms, a small cut goes into a rebate pool. And that pool also gets topped up from something most people never really think about. Whenever a transaction gets submitted to the blockchain, people who process it can actually shuffle the order around and quietly profit from that. That slice normally just disappears, and then on top of that, there is a dedicated reserve that exists specifically for recovering transaction fees, the exact part that just got triggered a minute ago. And all 3 of those components together, that's what the rebates are actually funded by. So yeah, that's the full thing. And look, I've genuinely had this testing for a while. Not at first impression, actual time spent with it, watching how it handles things across different conditions, and nothing ever came up that felt off. It's a tight solution. It's not trying to do everything. It picked one problem and built around that, and that focus usually means the core is actually solid. Trace through the logic multiple times, watch the behavior over weeks, and it's been consistent in a way that matters. That's the thing that actually builds confidence for me, not what a project says about itself, but how it behaves when nobody's pitching it.